Liberty City has seen violence before. Sirens echo through those streets so often, people barely look out their windows anymore. But every once in a while, there's a night so brutal, so chaotic, that even the neighborhood goes quiet afterward. On one side of a small apartment, a woman trapped between fear and loyalty. On the other, two brothers trying to protect their sister from a man they never trusted. And somewhere in the middle of it all, a gun. By the time police arrived, two brothers were bleeding across the floor of a dark apartment, and the man responsible wasn't running. He was pacing, waiting, holding the weapon in his pocket. But what really happened inside that apartment, and what pushed an argument into something far more deadly? Because according to witnesses, the shooting didn't happen in the heat of one sudden moment. It happened after he left and came back. It started inside an apartment near Northwest 17th Avenue. Nothing looked unusual from the outside. No warning, no sign that within minutes, someone inside would be fighting for their life. Inside the apartment was a woman and her boyfriend, 31-year-old Antwan Carter. Then her brothers arrived, 23-year-old Jaheim Pierre and 28-year-old Gianni Pierre. According to investigators, the brothers were protective of their sister, maybe overly protective, but there was a reason for that. Police reports later revealed there had allegedly been past moments of domestic violence between the woman and Carter. And that history changed everything, because the second the brothers walked through that door, the atmosphere inside the apartment shifted. Tension, hostility, old anger bubbling back to the surface. Nobody knew how far things were about to go. At first, it was just arguing, voices getting louder, words turning personal. Then suddenly, the argument became physical. A scuffle broke out between Carter and the two brothers, furniture shifting, bodies colliding, chaos filling the apartment. Fearing the situation was spiraling out of control, the woman ran out and asked a neighbor to call the police. And for a brief moment, it seemed like things might calm down, because when she came back, Antwan Carter was gone. The apartment should have been safe after that. The door was locked, the brothers were still inside, and Carter had already left. But according to surveillance footage reviewed by detectives, something happened outside that changed the entire night. Video reportedly showed Carter walking to his vehicle, then reaching inside. Investigators say he grabbed an unknown object and slipped it into his right pocket. After that, he turned around and walked straight back toward the apartment building. Not slowly, not hesitating, purposefully. Witnesses later described hearing aggressive banging at the door, loud, repeated, demanding to be let in. The woman repeatedly begged her brothers not to open it. Something about the way he was banging, the way he was yelling, told her this wasn't over. But seconds later, the door opened, and according to police, everything exploded.
A stunning development in a double murder after two brothers were found gunned down in a home. Our crime specialist Bridget Matters live in Miami with the arrest made. Bridget.
Louis, really tragic. According to police, there was some sort of altercation between those two brothers and the suspect. It all happened here at this apartment building on the second floor. Those two men are dead and an arrest has been made. Miami police investigating a double homicide in the Liberty City neighborhood. Two brothers, Jaheim and Gianni Pierre, were shot and killed May 2nd at this apartment building off Northwest 17th Avenue. Audio from dispatch says a caller reported 6 shots fired and a woman reporting her brother was shot.
Miami, I made contact with a female, said that her brother shot on the 2nd floor.
An arrest form says while detectives were investigating, a man approached and said, quote, "I'm the one. I have the firearm." Police arrested 31-year-old Antwan Carter, who they say had a gun in his pocket. The report says CCTV footage shows Carter yelling and banging on an apartment door. When it opens, quote, Carter then charged into the apartment as he reached into his front right pocket. Immediately after, several gunshots were heard. A woman then ran out bloodied. That woman told police Carter was her boyfriend who shot her brothers. That suspect remains in jail. He's facing 2 first-degree murder charges.
Investigators say the moment the door cracked open, Carter rushed inside, then reached into his front pocket and gunfire erupted. Inside the apartment, panic instantly took over. The woman screamed. Bullets tore through the room. One brother was sitting on the couch when he was struck. The other tried running toward his sister for cover, but according to the report, he was shot too, then collapsed on top of her. Imagine that moment, the noise, the confusion, the blood spreading across the floor while shell casings bounced through the apartment. And then something happened that investigators say made the scene even more disturbing. After the shooting, Carter allegedly sat on the edge of a bed, looked toward the woman and said, "See what you made me?" Those words would stay burned into the investigation afterward, because outside the apartment, neighbors were already hearing the screams, and inside, 2 brothers were dying. When officers finally arrived at the apartment, they found devastation. Jaheim Pierre has suffered fatal gunshot wounds. Gianni Pierre was still alive when first responders reached him, but he later died at the hospital. Blood covered sections of the apartment. Investigators later found pools of blood near the couch and inside a closet area where one of the brothers collapsed. Spent shell casings were scattered throughout the home. But what stunned officers most was the suspect's behavior afterward. According to police, Antwan Carter didn't flee. He didn't disappear into the night. He stayed nearby, pacing back and forth, then repeatedly told officers, "I'm the one. I have the firearm." Police recovered a 9mm Glock from his pocket, and while officers detained him, the victim's sister approached the scene covered in blood. Her clothes, her feet, everything stained by what had just happened inside that apartment.
Shows the shocking shooting that left 2 brothers dead in a Miami apartment.
It's video you'll see only on Local 10. Magdala Lucen is live in Miami with the exclusive. Magdala?
Yes, Nicole and Louis, this video that we were able to get tonight gives a glimpse of what happened on May 2nd, and we want to warn our viewers, those who will be listening to this, it's going to be hard to hear.
Listen for the barrage of gunfire hailing inside of this Liberty City apartment unit for a while. Then 40 seconds into the video, you hear someone screaming. Moments later, a woman runs out of the apartment yelling down the hallway. He, police say, is Antwan Carter. The 31-year-old is accused of killing his girlfriend's brothers, Jaheim and Gianni Pierre.
This is a capital offense if you're found guilty.
Miami police say they have video of Carter running to a car to get a gun after he and the brothers got into an argument that turned into a fight. The sister tells police her brothers came to protect her because of a past domestic violent incident. There's a GoFundMe page online to help support the family with funeral expenses. Police say before the shooting, Carter is seen in video pacing back and forth, banging on the locked door, yelling, "I bet one of you won't open up." The arrest report says the sister urged her brothers not to open the door, but Jaheim opened it, and that's when Carter, police say, immediately started shooting. Gianni died first. Jaheim, who was injured, ran to take cover with his sister, but police say he collapsed on top of her. The report says after the shooting, Carter sat at the edge of the bed, told his girlfriend, quote, "You see what you made me do?" And she tells him, I told you to leave. Then she runs out of the apartment.
A difficult situation for all involved in this. Police say that Carter actually confessed to them that day, telling them that he's the person they're looking for and that he had a firearm on him. And tonight he still stays in jail with no bond, charged with murder. We're live in Miami. I'm Magdala Lucen, Local 10.
Good morning, Mr. Carter. You were arrested for 2 counts of first-degree murder. This is a capital offense if you're found guilty.
Will be invoking his right to counsel and right to remain silent.
His mother's in court. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
There's probable cause for the charges. It looks like he shot and killed a girlfriend's 2 brothers. I'm going to grant the state's motion for pretrial detention pending final hearing and hold you with no bond. You will see a judge tomorrow. That judge will set a final hearing on the state's motion for pretrial detention.
As detectives pieced together the timeline, 2 different versions of the story emerged. The woman told investigators the violence escalated after Carter returned to the apartment, that her brothers had tried protecting her, and that she warned them not to open the door. But Carter told detectives something different. He claimed he had only gone outside for fresh air, that he returned to retrieve his belongings, and when he came back, the brothers were waiting for him with fists raised, ready to attack. According to Carter, that's when he pulled the gun and fired several times. But investigators say surveillance footage, the physical evidence, and witness statements painted a far darker picture. One that prosecutors now believe was intentional, calculated, and deadly. Now Antwan Carter faces first-degree murder charges. A judge denied him bond during his court appearance, and if convicted, he could face the death penalty. But long after the courtroom headlines disappear, the haunting details of that night remain. A locked apartment door, desperate warnings not to open it, a man leaving, then returning, and 2 brothers who never made it out alive. Because sometimes the most terrifying moments aren't the arguments themselves, it's the silence afterward, when everyone realizes the danger never really left. And in Liberty City, that silence now hangs over one apartment forever. Alright y'all, there y'all have it, man. That's the crazy story of the crazy boyfriend shooting his girlfriend's 2 brothers, man. Rest in peace to them. Hey, get in that comment section, let me know what y'all think. Drillers and trappers, we outside trapping and drilling 247. Don't go nowhere. Watch that next video. Gang!